100,000 Sudanese are now facing catastrophic levels of food insecurity. Over 10.9 million internally displaced people in Sudan. So to put that into perspective, more than 2 New Zealands, every single person in the country twice over not being where they're supposed to be. No sense of home, safety, or security. Nearly 600,000 people affected by heavy rains and flooding across the country. And of course, flooding compounds the situation in areas at risk of famine. And when it comes to the number of those killed in the violence or have died as a direct result of the war through the collapse of the health sector and the country's infrastructure, these numbers are difficult to ascertain. Although many official bodies have tried to do so, and estimates range anywhere from a conservative 20,000 people killed to at least 150,000, and some estimate even higher. I'll pass it on to Hiba now. Kia ora.
Thank you, Lina. It has been 392 days of genocide in Gaza. 392 days. Shame! Shame! Israel has killed more than 43,000 people, including 16,000 children in Gaza, including more than 100,000 people have been injured, and more than 10,000 are still reported missing. Shame! Shame! It has been massacre after massacre in Gaza. The latest massacres have been the destruction of northern Gaza. Late on Tuesday night, residential buildings in Beit Lahia were targeted, killing at least 112 people, including at least 20 children. Shame! Shame! Every day, hundreds of people are being killed. Fathers are carrying their entire family's bodies on their shoulders. Paramedics that have survived are shocked to find their families' bodies during these searches. Shame! Shame! Many stories of our martyrs have touched us, and more recently, the killing of Yusuf Abu Rabi' has affected not just his family, but the people that he has helped during these difficult times. Yusuf was an agricultural engineer at the beginning of the genocide. Yusuf grew vegetables in the ruins of his family's farm in Beit Lahia. He co-founded Thamra, an initiative that provided seedlings and educated Palestinians on how to plant urban gardens. Yusuf knew he would be targeted. He saw his farming as an act of resistance. And before his death, he said, "I don't expect to live long because I do the things that drive the occupiers crazy by doing what the occupiers are trying to prevent us from doing. So I decided to help everyone in learning how to plant wherever they are." After his death, Gazans have said that Yusuf was the first to plant since the beginning of the genocide. And without him in northern Gaza, many of us would not have survived. Shame! Shame! Lebanon has also faced significant escalations in the past few months. At first, the evacuation orders were concentrated in southern Lebanon. On Wednesday, Israel ordered the evacuation of the entire city of Baalbek in eastern Lebanon, which houses 100,000 people. Just like the people of Gaza and the people of Sudan, the people of Lebanon have nowhere to go and resorting to camping on the streets. On Monday, Lebanon's health ministry said at least 60 people were killed in Baalbek regions by Israeli raids. Shame! Shame! The war has killed at least 1,754 people in Lebanon since September 23rd, according to a tally of health ministry figures, though the real number is likely to be higher due to gaps in the data. Shame on this world for turning a blind eye on these innocent people. We are not collateral damage and we are not just numbers. I'm sick of trying to have to come up here and scream onto deaf ears of this complicit government that innocent people have the right to live. No one should have that kind of power to end a human life. And I hope one day we can live in a world where we have no wars. But until then, I will keep talking about my people. And I would like to dedicate a minute of silence to all our martyrs in Palestine, Lebanon, Sudan, and all oppressed people in this unjust world.